The battle over extending unemployment benefits for Americans appears to be over. Senate Republicans did attempt to stall final passage of a bill they say will add an additional $34 billion to an already bloated deficit. But all indications are that this bill could pass very shortly, possibly within the next hour or two. Florida Republican Senator George LeMieux joins me now. And Senator, I know information is coming fast and furiously. Among the pieces of information that we'd love to know is how would this be paid for? Do you have any visibility on that?
Well, it's not going to be paid for. It's going to be borrowed. That's the problem. Senate Republicans want to have unemployment compensation extended. We've all voted for it, but we want to pay for it. We just had an amendment on the floor that Senator Brown from Massachusetts offered to pay for this unemployment extension. We've voted on this now a half a dozen times to pay for it, but the Democrats won't do it. It got defeated. They won't pay for this, and unfortunately, it's going to put $30+ billion on the backs of our kids and grandkids.
How would you pay for it if you could get in there with the Senator Brown amendment?
Well, Senator Brown does is he takes money that's unobligated, that's sitting out there, that's not being used. Other proposals that we've had eliminate duplicative programs. Other proposals spend unused stimulus funds. Look, there is plenty of money in this federal government, plenty of waste, plenty of redundancy that we could use to pay for this important program, but the Democrats in this chamber just don't want to do that.
How will you vote?
Well, I voted to pay for it with these changes that Senator Brown put forward, Senator Thune has put forward. But if we're not going to pay for it, if we're going to just borrow this money and run this country further into debt, I can't in good conscience vote for these extensions.
Okay, but speak to Americans right now, Senator, from the other side who might feel that they are in terrible straits. Their unemployment benefits have run out. There are 5 people for every 1 job that is out there to find, so jobs are very difficult to get. So speak to them who might believe, the people who might believe that Republicans don't care. You know, that you've already heard that accusation, certainly, and I know that's not necessarily the truth, but you go ahead and verbalize it.
Well, Liz, it's a false choice to say that we have to choose between not putting us further into debt and these unemployment extensions for people who are suffering. People in my state are suffering. In Florida, we have 11.5% unemployment. We're the most behind on our mortgage payments, second highest mortgage foreclosures in the country. I know my people are suffering. I want these unemployment benefits to continue. That's why I voted for them, but only where we pay for them. Because it's not fair to say we're going to put this on our kids. This country is at $13 trillion in debt. We're $1 trillion more in debt in the last year. To put that in perspective, it took us 200 years to go $1 trillion in debt, and we did another trillion in the last year. It is unsustainable.
Okay, I've got 2 important questions. The first one being that Democrats say that the Republicans are demanding for a way to pay for this, yet when they're pushing to have the Bush tax cuts extended, they don't come up with a way to pay for that. Can you really have one without the other?
Well, look, the tax cuts that we have in place leave more money in the pockets of people, small businesses and others, that can be used to stimulate the economy, pay for things for your family, create jobs, whatever it is. That's different. That's not spending on programs that we don't need. And trust me, this government is full of programs that are inefficient, that aren't getting the job done. But no one here in Washington wants to look at the programs that we're spending on now. They don't want to see whether they're efficient or effective. They just want to create new and new layers of programs, more levels of bureaucracy, and spend more of the people's money. We should be able to cut spending. We should be able to cut taxes. We need to focus on the programs we have, see which ones we need, which ones we don't, and let the people have more of their money back.
If you extend unemployment benefits, for now it was 27 weeks, and of course this bill would push it another 36 for a total of 99 weeks. You do have economists, sir, who come out and say, look, that continues to put money in people's pockets who wouldn't have it. They in turn would spend it and at least keep part of the fire stoked of this economy, even though it's just a few embers at this point, but would at least keep some things going. Do you not see it that way?
Well, I do see it that way. I want to have these benefits for folks who are unemployed. We want to vote for this. You would get, if you wouldn't get 100 senators, you would come darn close if we paid for these unemployment compensation benefits. But the Democrats don't want to pay for them. They want to borrow the money when this country is going further and further in debt. We spend $200 billion a year on interest payments alone on the money that we shouldn't have spent in the past. $200 billion. That'd be plenty enough money to help people get back to work. That's just on our debt. It's going to be $900 billion by the end of the decade. It is unsustainable. We can't keep spending money that we don't have.
Senator, what we don't see is one of your aides outside of the camera shot ready to drag you to that vote. So let's let you go. I know you're very busy. Thank you for coming to Fox Business to talk about this right before that vote. Keep us posted.
Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. Senator George LeMieux, he is a Republican from Florida. Next on the